please go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Okay, all right, so let's break this down. All right, so as we mentioned earlier, Chris Rock was basically wondering if DJ Khaled is worth his weight in shit, you know, in the sense that, you know, you see him on all these songs, right? You always hear DJ Khaled or we the best, right? And that's kind of what he does. He kind of repeats himself a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with what Khaled does. It's not like he's breaking the law. It's not like he's doing anything that's hurting anybody. He's just basically repping his brand, right? He's making sure that his name is in your ears and in your mind, and that's what and that's worked for him, right? DJ Khaled has made, you know, just a shit ton of money, basically repping himself on songs and music that's made by other people. And again, I don't necessarily see anything directly wrong with that, but there are some subtleties to this that I sort of see as a business expert. You know, you guys know that's my thing, business and finance and all that. So what I want to do is try to give you a point of view that will help you kind of understand a little bit better. Now, the first thing I want to do is give you an overview quickly of how much money Khaled makes, you know, from yelling on other people's records. Let me see. His income in 2018 was 27 million. It looks like according to networth.com, he made about 20 million, 21 million, 22 million, up to 27. Depends on which estimate you look at. Some have 20 million, some have as high as 27 million. Either way, we know he's paid, right? Now let's look at net worth. Net worth is what matters. It's not how much you make, it's what you're worth that matters the most. I want you guys to understand that. Anybody who has taken a class from me or is in the Black Business School understands that net worth matters more than income. Income gives you an opportunity to have what matters, right? Income is an opportunity for you to build some wealth for your family. Some people get income and they just let it go out the window, whereas other people understand income links directly to net worth. So one estimate of his net worth, according to wealthygorilla.com, don't know this website, don't know how accurate this is, but this is a number that popped up, is 35 million. I would be willing to bet that Khaled is worth more than 35 million because Khaled's been in the game for a really long time. Khaled gets respect all over the world. That can't be denied. So whether you like Khaled or not, you have to give him respect for getting respect. Maybe, or maybe you don't. You can do whatever the hell you want. So that's it. Okay, so that's where we are as far as his financial overview and how much money he's making, you know, from culture that came from us. Now that actually leads to a second question that I think is worth asking. I'd like to get you guys' opinion. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Khaled is not African American. I think his parents are from Palestine. His parents were Palestinian immigrants. The woman he married, I don't know if she's Palestinian or not, but she is a nice looking lady who doesn't look like she's black. Her name's Nicole Tuck. And I don't think that she's African American either. So he's not really an African American guy. He's kind of a little bit like a Vlad, a DJ Vlad. I guess Vlad was a DJ. I don't know, the guy that does Vlad TV. And you know, you kind of have these people that really love black culture. You know, everybody loves you. Everybody loves what African Americans produce. Everybody loves you know, what we are. Everybody loves everything about being black except for being black, right? Everybody loves us until we get shot by the cops or until we get locked up in droves, and they don't want to do anything about getting all those black people out of prison, black men getting falsely accused, sent away to jail. They don't want nothing to do with that shit. They don't want to do with the poverty and the chaos and the sadness that comes with being black. But everybody won't be black until it's time to be black, right? So black culture in terms of music is well received around the world. Everybody loves it. I even went to see a really good play on Broadway this week called Ain't Too Proud, about the story of the Temptations. And you saw where Berry Gordy was building up Motown, and the Temptations wanted to do that song. Remember that song, War? Huh. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Remember that song? Well, they wanted to do that song, and he said, you can't do that song because there's a difference between radio and TV black versus political black. Political black is not accepted. Radio TV black is cool. Intelligent black not accepted, especially if it's intelligent and political. So I'll never be mainstream because I'm intelligent political black. I'm smarter than 99.9% of all the white people I've ever met, and I'm very political. I literally tell black people that I don't think you should vote unless you want to. I don't tell you to vote or not to vote. I tell you to weigh the pros and the cons to your community and then make a decision at that point, right? So political, intelligent black is not what white folks want. It's not what the rest of the world wants. But they want the singing, dancing black, you know. Like that's, whatever it is, whether it's a rapper with 1,000 gold teeth and carrying a gun on his hip, talking about I want to kill black people or fuck a bitch and let me make it rain and throw my money away. Like, people love that shit. They love it because they love watching you act like gorillas and watching you act ridiculous and embarrassing yourselves and your family. Now you got some artists though who represent the essence of what hip hop really is. You had guys like Kendrick Lamar. You got a few others out there that are true lyricists, true geniuses, J. Cole, etc. But then you got some guys out there that are straight cooning. Can we at least agree on that? That you got some straight coonery out here, and people love to embrace the coonery and say this represents black culture. That ain't black culture. That's a bad strand, a toxic strand of hip hop culture, but that ain't black culture, right? So anyway, so you got people like Vlad and Khaled who just are almost enamored with black people. Like, they just, and it's okay. I mean, we're really cool people. Like, we just have a swag everybody else wants. The Kardashians are enamored with black people. They want to fuck every rapper within a 100-mile radius, every basketball player, right? They want the cornrows, they want the big booties, the big lips. They all get plastic surgery by the age of 4. By the time the Kardashians are in kindergarten, they done got at least a couple of surgeries done. It's all good. It is what it is, right? Okay, because everybody want to be black, except for when it's time to be black. Now, that question leads to this. I want you give me yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Do you think that DJ Khaled would be defined as a culture vulture? Do you think that he is a culture appropriator, or do you think he's just a guy who grew up, in the hood and just has, an honest, healthy respect for black people? Do you think he's a culture vulture, or do you think he's just a guy who is, who has every right, like everybody else, to go and build an empire off of black music? You say, so I see yeses and yeses. Okay, I see a lot of yeses and yups. Okay, because that's the thing. I think that there's a resentment toward Khaled, and you can argue if it's valid or not. I got to process that. I really got to think about it. There's a resentment because I think Khaled, coming from a different culture, he wasn't raised by black people, but he loves black people, right? He loves our music. He has a lot of black friends. But in other cultures, I think there's more of a tendency to understand the economic benefits of what is being produced in the black community. That's why you see Jewish kids grow up and they don't want to be rappers. They don't want to live in the hood. They don't want to be like us, but they see all the money. They see the cha-chings and the dollar bills that are flowing out of your community, and they're like, damn, these people are just giving all this shit away. Well, shit, let me go get my piece of that, right? So what they'll do is they'll do like Vlad TV did, or like what Khaled did, which is build up massive distribution systems and monetization opportunities and brand building exercises that allow them to develop an economic empire where you're pretty much the fuel. Your culture serves as the fuel for everything that they're allowed to make money from, right? Like, Khaled is not a pioneer in hip hop, right? We know this, right? He's not a rapper. He's not a performer. He does not actually get out here and produce it, but he knows how to monetize it. He sees the power of hip hop. He saw the power of hip hop before you did. A lot of our own damn people actually really believe this bullshit. They believe that a song is just a song. That a song don't affect nobody. A song don't influence nobody. There ain't nobody affected. It's just a song. A song ain't gonna make me go out here and do. You ever hear that? You don't know what I'm talking about. Yes or no? Tell me if you've heard this. Whether people debate like whether or not hip hop influences the minds of young people, and people be like, it's just music. Music can't influence nobody. Well, somebody who says that obviously has never studied psychology. Khaled knows music digs down to the soul. He knows that music comes in your ear and sits in you and plants itself in your subconscious mind and shapes how you see the world. That's why Khaled, he knows that he can build a massive brand by just shouting his name on every song he can get his hands on. He can hop in there and just be like, Lil Jon, it's another guy. These are not stupid guys. These are businessmen. They understand they don't need to go to college to show you that they understand branding. He understands branding. He knows that he doesn't actually have to rap in order for you to remember his name. All he's got to do is shout his name out, let somebody else do the rapping, right? Well, I mean, that's the same thing Toyota does. Toyota will advertise during Monday Night Football, but they don't have to create a football team. They don't have to throw a football. They don't have to play the sport. They just got to put a Toyota in the commercials, or put the word Toyota on the side of the field in the soccer game, and you see Toyota every time you're watching the game. You see, that's branding. That's a business strategy. So as much as we want to, get a little bit, as much as people might want to get upset with Khaled for being a culture vulture or whatever, and I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I think that you need to kind of peep game a little bit and understand that it's the people that understand business that do best in the music industry. The rappers that I know a lot of rappers, and most of those rappers are broke as hell. Most rappers I know ain't got no damn money, but the rappers that do have money, the ones that are making money, like I'm friends with D1, very good friends with Willie D, I'm very good friends with a few other rappers, and I'm gonna tell you, the reason these guys make money when other rappers don't is because they understand business and branding. That's why they make money. They don't make money because they can rap. Okay, so Khaled, he deserves credit for being a brand builder. He could probably teach a class at Harvard on how to build a brand because he's done it very, very well. And again, Chris Rock was accurate. He really did it without doing a whole lot, at least not on the surface. Maybe behind the scenes he's doing something else. Maybe he's making the beats. Maybe he is creating connections. Maybe he somehow has insights or an inplay into the distribution channels, which actually give the real power. That's why a lot of black music groups had to get managers and agents who were from the Jewish community, because the Jewish people didn't focus on making the music. They focused on the distribution. How do you get it on the radio? How do you get it out to the world, right? So maybe Khaled has power there, but we know he has some sort of power. It just may be the quiet power, not the loud power. In fact, in most industries, it's the quiet people that got the most power. It ain't the people that you see on stage. It's the people who built the stage, the people who financed the stage, the people who designed the stage, the people who decided who gets to go on stage. Those are the people that actually have the power. So Khaled might be a power broker in that regard. Who knows? Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, please. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. We're talking about Chris Rock's critique of DJ Khaled as basically being a guy who's a talentless hack who puts his name on everybody's song, and that's how he gets famous. I'm not going to say it's not true. I'm not going to say I disagree. I like Chris Rock a lot. He says a lot of things that get him in trouble, but Chris Rock is he's actually on my short list of celebrities that I would actually like to talk to. I would like to talk to him, Jordan Peele, and the guy who did the Boondocks, Aaron McGruder. Those are the only three celebrities I can think of right now where I would really enjoy having a conversation with those brothers, because I'm fascinated by how their minds work, and I would love to hear them just talk about different issues just to see where their brains are located. And actually Tiger Woods used to be in that category too, not because of his political or sociological position, all that Asian nonsense. I'm not interested in that. I was interested in Tiger because I was fascinated by how disciplined he was and how focused he was on achieving his goals. I'd love to get inside his head to just understand that the mindset that he had, when he was the greatest golfer on earth. But anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. And you guys also know that we created blagenough.com, which is basically a Facebook for black people. So if you'd like to go get away from Facebook a little bit and do something different and get away from get away from the nonsense, get away from a space where black people get banned every day and you want to go where black folks are hanging out, go to blagenough.com. All right. So the last thing I'll say is, could Khaled be accused of cultural appropriation? I think the answer is probably yes, but the thing about it is that, y'all black folks, we black people, we be a culture, appropriating other people's cultures all the time. We love trying to be white. Black people love trying to pretend to be white. Like, seriously, tell me, yes or no, if you know at least 50 black people who just want to be white, who do everything white people do, copy off white people, do it, so this whole concept of cultural appropriation, I'm not even sure what that means. I really don't know. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm just going to say, didn't the Wu-Tang Clan used to talk about how they were fascinated with Asian culture and karate and everything else? But I'm not dissing. I'm just saying, culture's out there. People admire a culture and they say, hey, I think I like that. I want to incorporate that into what I do. So I'm not really one to get mad about cultural appropriation. I'm also not one to get mad when other people focus on the business side of what we do and they're able to make money from it. Like, my brother has gave me a really good saying that I thought was actually true. He said, the world hates clever people. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, usually if somebody's smart enough to figure out how to make money when everybody else is broke, they get pissed off at that person for making money because they're broke, right? Because misery loves company. Broke ass people love to bitch about people that figured out the game, right? So at the end of the day, sometimes you got to really think about that and say, you know, okay, am I really making a valid critique, or am I just being a hater? Why not be an imitator? Why not pay attention to the game, figure out what they did, and learn from that person, as opposed to being just pissed off because you're making money, or you know, and I didn't make any money. You know, I don't see Khaled doing anything illegal, anything unethical. I do think though that you can call it for what it is though, because I've always said, God damn, why is this dude always on everybody's record? What does he have on these people that leads them all to let him come and scream on their record? That's weird to me, and also, he has no talent. I can't name one DJ Khaled song that he's actually on that I actually like. And I was like, oh, well, maybe he's a DJ. Maybe that's what DJs are supposed to do. I don't know. But there was a DJ in Atlanta, I remember, by the name of Greg Street. And I remember Greg Street used to do that. And he used to interrupt, he used to play these songs. He makes these mixtapes, and he would put Greg Street in the middle of every song. And Greg Street became famous off of that. Everybody knew Greg Street's name. Why? Well, because his name is like in a commercial planted in all the songs that you want to hear, right? So maybe that's a model that can be learned from. I don't know. If you remember, you had Mike Jones, who did that song, Who? Mike Jones? Who? Mike Jones? 10 years later, he ain't had a hit record since. Everybody still remembers the name Mike Jones. If I say Mike Jones, most of y'all know who I'm talking about. So ultimately, you know, how many breaths have you taken? I know, right? I get excited when I talk about business related. It's just who I am. It's what I do. All right. So my verdict on DJ Khaled as a culture vulture, I think you can make that critique. Is he a talentless hack? Maybe he's not. He doesn't have the performance talent that we're used to seeing, but he has some kind of talent, because you don't get to where you're worth 30, 40, 50 million dollars without having some sort of talent. You know, even the Kardashians have a talent. It's just not the kind of talent that we're accustomed to seeing. They sort of just sit around and take selfies and look a certain way, and somehow they become these social media influencers and are making hundreds of millions of dollars. It ain't the game that I would have chose, but it's the game that we're playing. And so I encourage those who want to get ahead in the game to peep the game and watch the game being played by people who are able to accomplish certain things. Okay, so that's all it is. But am I a fan of Khaled personally? No, not really. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Whatever. Just, like, you know, in fact, I would prefer that he didn't yell on the songs, but, you know, that's how he makes his money. So it is what it is. All right. So I'm about to go, guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button before you go. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please also hit the share, like, and subscribe button. Also, make sure you subscribe at drboycetv.com. That's drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. If you want to help us push intelligent black media throughout the world, please go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. And we'd love to have you as a patron and a supporter, because we like to elevate conversations and get our folks talking about the nitty-gritty detailed issues. I'm a college professor. That's what I've been doing for 25 years. So I love teaching in my community and talking to my people too. And don't forget, join us at Blagging Up. That's our social media platform. It's spelled on the shirt. So there you go. That way you won't misspell it. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Peace.